Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a full look using Runway Room products. So today I'm featuring this pack here. So it's actually a contouring, highlighting and baking sort of pack. It's retailed at $145 Australian dollars, but it is on special for $99. It is honestly so easy to work with and so amazing. I could not recommend it anymore. So there's a conceal and illuminate palette in here, which it contains two darker contour sort of shades, a pink flesh concealer, and then like a more skin tone sort of concealer, and also a highlight. So I use that palette to literally contour my whole face. I didn't use any powder contours or highlights. I popped on a little bit of the Peach Punch blush by Runway Room, which is of course my favorite blush. You guys would know, I mention it in every single one of my videos. It has a highlight through it, so it's absolutely beautiful. It works on every skin tone. It also comes with a concealer brush, so I use this to conceal and to contour, and also a beauty blender, which I use to blend out all of the creams and to bake under my eyes and under my contour with. So definitely head over to the Runway Room Instagram page to check it out more. You can also go on their website, read more about the pack. Besides this pack, I explained later on about the brown maintenance kit. That's another pack separately that you can purchase from Runway Room, and keep watching to see how I achieve this look. So to begin from this pack, I am gonna take the Conceal and Illuminate palette. So it has a few concealer shades here, and it has a highlight, and it also has some dark contour shades. So I'm also going to take this concealer brush out of the pack. This comes with all of the other items. So this brush is a perfect size to get into those little areas under your eyes when you're concealing, but it's also a great size to contour your cheekbones with. So first I'm going to take the Pink Flesh concealer shade, which is the middle one. This is a color correcting concealer, so I'm just going to take that on my brush. As you guys know, most people get like purple sort of tones under their eyes and on their eyelids with veins coming through, and this concealer actually counteracts those purple shades. And also placing that on the top of my eyelid as eyeshadow primer. It's really important to also make sure you get into the inner corner and also the outer corner when concealing, because a lot of people miss those areas and they tend to get really dark. So now that I've laid out the concealer, I'm going to take my beauty blender. My beauty blender is a little bit damp, so I'm just going to go in and blend out that concealer. Now in the palette, I'm going to take this lighter concealer shade here. I'm going to use that to highlight my face a little bit. So I'm going to place that on my chin, down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and also in the center of my forehead. And then taking my beauty blender again just to blend that out. Now to contour, I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette, and just using that same concealer brush, I'm going to carve out my cheekbones. So I'm just going to start off light like this to begin with, and then I'll build it up if I feel like I need to. I'm also going to do around my forehead. So contouring your cheekbones creates the appearance of higher and fuller cheekbones. It sort of narrows your face out a bit and gives your face more structure. I like to contour my forehead. It's a personal preference because it creates the appearance of a smaller forehead. I also like to contour my jawline. This is also personal preference. Well, I guess it all is personal preference, but I like to do this because it creates the appearance of sort of like a sharper jawline, a little bit of a longer neck. And I also like to contour my nose. It just makes your nose look a little bit slimmer and a bit more structured. So a tip when contouring your nose, try and make it as straight as possible, and also the closer that you draw your two lines together, the slimmer the nose will look because you're narrowing the size of the bridge. You can also do under the lip. I don't do too much under there, but it creates a fuller lip because it sort of looks like there's a shadow of your lip bending over. Now that I've done that, I'm going back to my beauty blender. I'm going to take the bum of my beauty blender and start blending out my cheek contour. In one of my other videos, I think it was my first video ever, I spoke about how I don't like using beauty blenders. Today I'm going to try it because Runway Room has released this contour, highlight and baking palette. So I thought I should try it out with the beauty blender. I usually would do it with just the brush, which works just as well in my opinion. I prefer brushes, but this beauty blender is actually doing the job quite well. So now from that same pack, I'm going to take the setting powder. So this is a translucent powder and it's triple milled, so it's super fine, which is amazing for baking. So I'm just going to tip some in the lid and just add my beauty blender in like this from the tip and bake under my eyes. I also like to bake a little bit down the side of my nose just because product sort of tends to slide off my nose. I'm now going to bake under my contour just in case I went a little bit too low. Also just pop a little bit on my chin because I do have oily skin, so I don't really want this part to be too dewy. Now I'm just going to take any fluffy brush and just gently sweep that away. So now I'm going to take the highlight shade in this palette, which is the very far left one, which is the lightest shade. I'm just going to put that on my finger, rub it into my finger a little bit to work the product in. And then I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheekbone. Now I'm not going to put any powders on top of these creams that I've used today because I would like my skin to look more dewy than matte. These products give the perfect amount of dewiness to your skin, as in it's not too dewy where you look oily, but you also have dimension to your face. You don't look matte to a point that your face is all one dimension. I love this highlighter because it's really quite subtle, like it catches in the light when I turn, but when I look front on, it's not too glittery. And they also don't show up too much texture in your skin. On my fingers still, I'm just going to place that under my brow bone a bit. Just because the brow bone is a high point of your face and it's an area that I really like to highlight. I'm also going to go down the bridge of my nose. This also creates the appearance of a slimmer nose. And also on my cupid's bow. If you do like more of a bronze sort of look, then I would suggest leaving it like this. But for someone like me personally, I love a flush of pink to the cheeks. So I'm going to take my Peach Punch by Runway Room, which you guys know is my absolute favourite blush ever. It also has a highlight through it, so it is very glowy. And it absolutely suits every single skin tone. I've never met someone that doesn't like this blush. So I'm just taking a small brush and I'm just going to place a little bit to the apples of my cheek and blending upwards. I'm also going to fill in my brows a little bit with the brow dust in the shade Medium by Runway Room. This is not included in the pack, but it comes in a separate pack. So if you guys are looking for a perfect maintenance kit for your brows, then I definitely suggest getting this kit. It's called the Brow Maintenance Kit. It's by Runway Room. You can get the shade light, medium and dark in the brow dust. I find that brow dust are my absolute favorite product to use on my brows. I can get very sparse hairs, so I get some gaps that I need filling in, and dust just makes it look so much more natural. As you guys know, this sort of over manicured brows are fading out. It was sort of like the Insta brow, and now more soft feathered natural brows are coming into fashion. So within the brow maintenance kit, it comes with the brow dust, obviously, a spoolie and an angled brush like this to apply the product with, and also a pair of tweezers. So it really is the full maintenance kit for your brows. So to use this maintenance kit, obviously first you'd pluck your brows. I've just had my brows waxed, so that's not necessary, but I would begin by brushing my brow hairs up and to the side, and with the brush I just work the product into the brush. This brow dust also has a resin through it, which means it adheres to the skin better than a normal eyeshadow would. It's better than a wax and a pencil. They're obviously not very natural looking, but this is a perfect product for me personally, and I think for a lot of people out there that aren't into the like perfect slick sort of brow, just the sort of everyday natural kind of look. So I just begin in the middle of my brow by underlining it just gently, and I barely even touch my brush on my skin at the front. I then continue through to the tail of my brow, still underlining it. At the tail you sort of want to lengthen your brow and create just a little bit of a point like that. Then I just really gently feather the top of my brow. So I'm brushing through the hairs and I'm combing upwards. I then like to make the arch of my brow just a tiny bit higher. And then I like to line the top of my brow just to finish the tip off, and then go through and just fill in any holes that you can still see. And at the front, I virtually have no product on my brush, and I just like to comb the hairs upwards, just with any excess product on the brush, getting the hairs to catch that product. Next I go back to my spoolie and I just brush through the brow. This sort of makes sure that there's no clumps of product, and it also makes it a little bit more soft and not as harsh. And to finish, I like a fuller brow, so I just brush my hairs up once again, just to create that full illusion. To create that sort of pointy edge, I like to keep going along my brow and then just gently lift off, just to create a little bit of a sharper edge rather than a blunt finish. Then once again, creating the arch and following through to the tail. So to complete this look, I just popped on some mascara and also just a lip gloss by Runway Room. This is a beautiful peachy lip gloss called Summer Days. It smells absolutely amazing. So this is the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye!